Hello and welcome to the B-Bun episode 48. Yeah, I'm your host Baron Marf, and I'm joined as always by the legend himself. It's Angry Link. Very pertinent name this week. How you doing, Link?
Yeah, getting there. Same old, I suppose.
Much gaming this week?
Not really. Well, yes and no. I mean, I've been trying to blast through Tales of Zestria. So I'm starting to get to grips with it now. I've unlocked a few bits and bobs. Obviously some new serifs and arters and
whoa. Those are words that I do not know what they mean.
Battle actions and abilities.
Right, okay.
The story's getting there. It's still going to take a good push to finish it off. Because I think I'm sort of just at the start of the second part. And there's, I think, 4 parts of the adventure. Right. So I've still got a fair way to go with that. Been absolutely macking the old Microsoft Solitaire on my phone though. Yeah, I know. Every time I've seen you,
I've been jumping on Xbox, I've been playing a bit of Gears. You're not a massive Gears fan, so it sort of separates us for a period of time. And every time I've looked at your character, your avatar, it just says Microsoft Solitaire. So I was like, right, I'm going to have a search on the store to find this game to see why this has got him so locked in. And I found some Solitaire by something Big Ben 8 or something like that, which looked very slick, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the Microsoft Solitaire collection. I'm thinking, how is he doing this? I can't find it.
To be fair, it's only because of GG's that I've been proper macking it. But no, it's got a few different types. So you got your sort of classic Klondike, Solitaire, Spider, Free Cell, Pyramid and Tri-Peaks.
But sorry, just go a step back. This isn't on the Xbox though, is it?
No, it's available on Android, Windows 10 and iOS. So it's probably on Windows Phone, but who's got a Windows Phone, so who cares?
No.
But yeah, there's also I've been on Sword Art Online Memory Defrag, which is another mobile game.
Right, Memory Defrag, amazing.
Yeah, it's a sort of action RPG, but all of your movements done with sort of taps and flicks and obviously timing, so you've got parries and guards and dodges and all of this gubbins. Obviously it's your typical gacha sort of game, so you've got to save up the specific coinage, and then you get more characters that way. But it's got a fairly rugged sort of skill and sort of leveling systems. There's some pretty good little bits and work there. But it's not too bad though. It's pretty good at giving out all of the coins that you need to get new characters. So it's a massive sort of game, it seems, because there's essentially 3 story arcs to go through.
Right.
So it's again another one, but it'll just sit on my phone and sort of every sort of 5-10 minutes a good little blast. But yeah, so how about yourself? Did you manage to finish off Zelda?
No, I haven't done it yet. I haven't got to it yet. It's a countdown now, isn't it? We've got effectively 6 days until the new Zelda's out. I'm most of the way through. I'd say I'm probably about 60% to 70%. No, I'm probably about 60% of the way through the game. When I did start playing it this week, I did find that I'd just been hammering the storyline in a very functional get the game done. I've never played Zelda like that before. It's always been a kind of, ooh, there's a side quest, and how do I get an extra jar for more fairies, and how do I,
It's a very much an easily distracted game.
Very much so, yeah. And so when I revisited this week, I kind of went, I'm going to allow myself to get distracted. I'm not going to miss all the nice, all
the fun little quirky bits.
Yeah, so I've just started doing some side quests. The clock's ticking, Link. It's tight now. It's getting tight. And I can tell you one thing. I know what's going to happen. I won't get it finished in time. I'll come back and I'll be like, oh no, what do I do? And then I'll plug in the Switch.
And forget about it.
And then no, I'll plug in the Switch, and then it will update for like 8 hours and shit like that.
That's true.
And I'll be like, plenty of time to complete it. Yeah. So, also been some Gears. Just hammering on Horde to get my Scout leveled up. Just the final few levels, you go up to level 10. I've been working through level 8. It's taking ages. I'm watching Cryo Man work through level 9, which is just ridiculous. Yeah. So chipping on that, and still been playing Tekken Tag as well.
Nice. Just to bring it back onto Gears, isn't there a new update on the Horde? Like there's new difficulties and...
Yeah, so they've put in a feral Horde version, which is basically you get more particular enemy types. Some of the ones which will usually stun you are now explosive, and they're all just a bit more bolshy.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than just a way to try and sell you leopard skins for your weapons and characters. Not that interesting, to be honest. I think I played it once just to be able to say, give me the character sets and then goodbye.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the main thing they should be doing is updating as well the fucking lag issues they've been choking on for the last 4 days. So the Coalition, once again, doing a really bollocks job at taking an incredibly solid online experience and just fucking it massively. So thank you, Coalition. You should never be allowed to touch Gears of War again.
Well, we're obviously straying into a B, so I think we should probably move on to the bullet bills first.
Right, okay, I'm busting over the bullet bills. It's Bullet Bills Big 3, baby, yeah! And it's the news. And shifting on to our first bullet hole for this week, what we got, Link?
A new announcement from the not the publishers, but the developers of Punch Club. Sort of one of my favourite little Android games from last year. Well, not Android, but favourite games of last year.
Yep.
They've obviously come out with their new game, Graveyard Keeper.
This looks awesome, doesn't it?
Basically, you build and manage your own medieval graveyard with the opportunities to expand into witch-burning festivals.
Good.
You can also scare villagers into attending church, to name but a few. Obviously, it's a case of doing whatever it takes to build a thriving business, so you'll face many ethical decisions along your way. So obviously, you've got stuff like, do you spend money on proper hot dog meat, or do you use the...
resource?
Yeah, I was going to say the abundant resources lying around in said graveyard.
Yeah. I mean, this is pushing sort of capitalism all the way, this, isn't it? Basically.
But then again, it's showing sort of some proper old school money-making schemes that people in history, especially in the Victorian era, have been known to pull a few shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, what was one of them, the bodies around us don't need all of that blood now, do they?
I was going to say, but this is where you can embark on one of the several business alliances, obviously, with your neighbouring vampire. Obviously, he's going to need a healthy supply of blood, and with all these dead bodies lying around, surely it must be a waste.
The one image that was sort of in support of this announcement piece that I was reading about was just an image of the graveyard keeper effectively throwing a body into the river. It's just like, that's brilliant. The teaser, well, not the teaser, but the intro trailer was, or the trailer was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it had the right sort of level of humour, and it pretty much did a good job of explaining what the game's mainly about. Yeah,
I mean, so it started off with a hero riding through a gully or chasm on a horse, just trotting along about, in times of peril, heroes were needed.
Yeah.
At which point, like, a boulder lands on him and the horse and just, like, meatsicles, very, very cool. Really like the humour in it.
Because it's also got a bit of dungeon exploring as well, so it's not all just sort of based on the farm or the graveyard, as it were. There's been no solid release date, but it's a tentative one for summer 2017, but that's coming to PC and Xbox One.
Sweet.
So it's one to look forward to.
And look forward I will. So busting over to our second bullet hole for this week, it's a new teaser trailer for The Last Night. So a couple of guys, Tim and Adrian Surratt, they founded a studio a while ago now, back in 2014, called Odd Tales, and they've been. This was their first game that they announced. They said,
it started off a game jam, didn't it?
That's right, yeah, and they basically said we're going to start chipping away at this. Well, 3 years later, or actually 4, because they were working on this game prior to actually releasing the studio, they've said we've done some new stuff, and what we've done is we've actually partnered up with Raw Fury. They were notorious for doing things such as Kingdom and Goner, if you remember either of those. And so basically they've teamed up with them, and they've done a little. It is very much a teaser trailer for this 2.5D graphical cyberpunk-esque game.
I was going to say there wasn't anything of gameplay.
Cyberpunk, I would say. Yeah.
Was there? It was purely just as an aesthetic show off, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's for me, it harkens back to the likes of like Another World or Flashback, maybe Oddworld, something like that.
Yeah,
it's that kind of your character paces around and you have scenarios on screen that you kind of got to work your way around.
Like, so each screen or area itself is almost like a mini puzzle, isn't it?
Yeah, and what I really like about this is it's got that great kind of vibrant sort of purpley kind of colour system.
It's a very neon sort of Neo Tokyo look.
Yes.
But like you say, Cyberpunk, Blade Runner sort of feel.
In 2D, yeah, 2D. Yeah. And they said exactly that. They said, it's based very, it takes its background from the likes of Blade Runner and Ghost Shell and yada yada. So, yeah, I'm super excited for this, actually. I didn't think I would be, but just all the images I've seen of it, I just love the look of this game. It's really got me intrigued.
Have we got anything close to sort of any details of release?
No release date, no price yet. Just they've said that they're imminently going to release a trailer to show really how much further it's progressed. So
cool.
Watch this space. So, busting on to our third bullet hole for this week. Link, what we got?
I think one that you'll be somewhat enamoured by. Obviously, we had the release of Neo last week.
Feeling that.
Or last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And what I think is the game that somewhat inspired it is potentially getting teased again.
Yeah, because, just on Neo very quickly, it is a Dark Souls-esque game, but there was one other game which, for me personally, was just laid on top of it.
Yeah.
And that game is?
Onimusha.
Yeah.
So obviously it's the PlayStation series, so it's obviously spawned 2 sequels, one featuring the likeness of Jean Reno and an elaborate samurai controller, or samurai sword controller, should I say. The Capcom producer, Masachika Kawata, has been speaking to the Daily Star, which obviously is a UK tabloid, a red top.
Yeah, that famous gaming tabloid, the UK Star.
Yeah.
Or Daily Star.
So there's he's been telling them that there may be a chance that the series will return, obviously neither confirming nor denying whether anything's in the works, which generally means something's in the works.
Or we're trying to see if you're going to get excited so we can get something in the works.
They should just do what old Widenet did and just stick it on Kickstarter.
As always.
Just wait for a fucking convention and just like, we want to make Onimusha, it's on Kickstarter now.
Fancy it?
Yeah.
Want to have a go? Can we have your money?
But again, obviously, Yoshinori Ono acknowledged last year that it's something that'd be interested in revisiting. Obviously, he's been talking to various people that worked on the first or on the series before, and they were sort of quite interested in seeing if they could do something new to bring it forward to the modern age.
So, if anybody out there doesn't know Onimusha, for me, Onimusha was always a mix between a hack and slash and Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was about to say it's very much very sort of Resident Evil, how it played out, but yeah, it's samurai.
And beasting enemies, absorbing souls and levelling your character up to do more beasting later. Very cool game though, very cool. I'd like to see it come back, I really would actually.
Yeah, I think
it's a valuable IP.
Especially now with the advent of stuff like Kinect and the Move controllers and even the Switch now with the Joy-Cons. It'd be interesting to see how you could implement some of the things in that, because you actually might see just a normal PlayStation game that uses Move controllers for once. I
don't know if you recall, but on Onimusha you used to have a gauntlet that used to suck in the souls. I'd like to see some
Power Glove-esque.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'd like to see some. Well, no, but I'd like to see some Rumble HD absorbing of souls. So it's like that'd
like be some glorified Pip-Boy.
Yeah, exactly that.
Because it could just be a case of plastic shell. Download this app.
That would be sweet.
That would be awesome.
Super sweet. Cool. So there we are, folks. There's the bullets for this week.
Quite a quick one. Normally we do rant and rave. And
bam, bam, bam. Well, you know, all a little bit excitable this week.
Quick off the draw.
Yeah, nice touch. The Punisher getting it done. Right, let's shift on over to our beef.
We best do that.
Let's go. Oh, it is fucking What's the Beef, Chief, and it's beefy time. I'm about to lay this meat out, Link, and I'm about to beat this meat because, frankly, it's starting to really piss me off, some of these approaches that people are taking on this stuff. Specifically, this week, we are talking about HD remakes / refreshes and how to get it right, how to get it really fucking wrong. It's that thing about people going, we were just talking about Onimusha and how we're like, yeah, okay, cool, let's do something with it. And then there's other people who seem to be taking their IPs and going, do you know what?
Money for old rope?
Gotta, I'm going to keep pushing that rope. Yeah, exactly.
And not in a fun Archer-esque way.
Not in a thumb it in your ass kind of way, but in more of a stop.
Well, no, it is thumb it in your ass.
Well,
pretty much. I guess it's bend over. You may feel a little pinch.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, it's in a receiving kind of way. It's not good. Maybe in a pushing kind of way, it's not bad. I'm going to make this thing happen. So specifically,
the crux and the real catalyst for this week, Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, I mean, so this has been out for about a week or so now. They had early release for those who wanted to pre-order it and pay
basically they've been flogging it for about a year. Yeah, they talked about it last year at E3. Obviously, we knew it was in the works before E3 last year. Then there was the sort of 6 months of pre-order it now and you can get in the beta. Pre-order it now and you can get in on the beta. And then 3 months later, seriously, pre-order now and you can still get on the beta. And
for me, it always says a lot when every pitch of the game that you see is mostly orientated around FMV storyline rather than the game. And that's because they know that, and to be fair to them, these style games where it is like, I'm going to build a battalion, I'm going to move that battalion,
strategies
is just generally quite fucking boring to look at.
It's one of those that I've always found the problem with it on console is that unless it's built specifically in mind for console, it really struggles from
the GUI just doesn't work. Yeah,
no, I mean, it's again, you've got the Kinect. Well, not everybody has, because thankfully Microsoft dropped that fucking like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
But that would be a kind of almost, well, not perfect, because it would still be really fumbly, and you'd be like, no, not that one, waving around like a fucking lunatic. But again, why not just mouse and keyboard support?
Yeah.
Because I saw this thing, Jeff Kaplan from Blizzard talking about, I don't know, you shouldn't have mouse and keyboard on consoles. It's like, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Because shit, like, I would, if I was actually to get back into first-person shooters online and sort of like the PvP stuff, that would definitely be on that. I'd be like, fucking right, I'm having a mouse and keyboard that can actually hopefully be effective. Yay!
I don't know. So, right back in the day when they first announced Halo Wars 2, and you got an indication that actually this was going to be a full-blown game release price. So just for those who don't know, standard edition of this game, you're looking at £50. The Ultimate Edition, you're looking at £65, which isn't quite, your 80s and your hundreds of like the Battlefield ones, but and COD, but it's still a lot of cash for a game which was effectively top end, maybe 30 quid for the big boy version of Halo Wars 1. I
was thinking about that. I mean, we've talked about it previously about Fable Legends. Right? Microsoft's insistence at finding a games as a service.
Yeah.
Well, why try and take an RPG which doesn't really lend itself to that kind of game and shoehorn it in, and then take a game which is perfectly set up for a games as a service freemium title? Why not do it with Halo Wars 2? It's
such an obvious... I mean, I must admit, I personally didn't think of that until you mentioned it. I was like, well, yeah, that's just obvious. Why wouldn't you do that?
Look at all of the biggest money makers in gaming, regardless of platform. They are all the same kind of games. It's this Game of War, sort of Lords Mobile, where you build a fucking base. Again, real-time strategies, it can lend itself to it quite easily. But,
Yes, so... I was looking at an article about Halo Wars 2 prior to us recording, and it basically said that the two, what should I say? I guess the word would be liable parties for the game is Creative Assembly and 343, and they was talking about their roadmap for DLC.
Yeah.
And they basically said, oh, we're not done yet. There's still lots of stuff to do. I mean, for example, right now, 343 is mostly just focused on patching the shit out of this game.
343 don't have a great track record of releasing games, do they? Because the only one that I think that's actually just been solid from the get-go was Combat Evolved, when they redid the HD. Yes,
yeah. Well, that's because all they did was reskin an engine. They didn't. They weren't actually involved with it. But so at the moment they're just working on latency issues. Just a minor part.
I mean, it does surprise me though that it has been slated as much as it has, because Creative Assembly, they're fucking solid RTS developers. I mean, for years and years, all they've made is Total War. Obviously, they turned everyone on their asses when they released Alien Isolation. But yeah, pretty much their bread and butter has been real-time strategies.
Schadenfreude here, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was really pleased to watch Halo Wars 2 get fucking decimated in the reviews, in the critic reviews. I've had a real beef with the fact that they've effectively doubled the price of this game when all they've done is, I mean, they haven't done a great deal of development on the engine or anything like that. They've just basically come up with more storyline and a load of high-end FMV. Fine, I get that's got a cost associated to it, but stow it, keep it. I'm not interested in it. Give me the game at a competitive price.
I just had a really good thought, and it's completely disappeared.
Yes,
damn.
That's right. That's the cream of the crop that you get from us.
I mean, it's frustrating because that was it. You've got someone like Microsoft that goes and cancels Scalebound but releases this because it's got the Halo brand attached to it.
Yeah.
And Halo sells millions and millions of copies. So it's just like let's not put our eggs in a basket that might generate a new IP and thus therefore more fucking money and new fans and another title to go in the stable. No, we'll get rid of that and we'll have some shonky. Whilst it was sort of culture, sort of a cult hit back in the day. Like if you want to play real-time strategies, you buy a PC and you go and get the numerous better examples.
But do you know the thing which actually got, I mean, Halo Wars so badly beaten in the critic reviews was the fact that, you know, they've said, look, we've invested loads of time and energy to really take this shit seriously, and that's why it's a full-blown release this time. And then all of the reviews just turned around and said, actually, it's not. It's just a dumbed down, version of this ilk of game. It's effectively a baby's version of it. It's too basic
because they have to work within the limits of a controller.
But you can still. I mean, I've seen plenty of these style of games where they use a control system and it controller on a console, and it does work. You can do it.
They have had a couple of Command and Conquers, didn't they? That were still pretty solid, even on the console.
Yeah, it's just more the fact that they've just made the game baby-like. You know, it's too simple. There's not enough complexity into it.
They've tried to cater to the casual or the new audience as opposed to worrying about the people that were actually wanting to play it.
The hardcores, yeah. And let's be honest, that style of game is not for casual play.
No, God no. I mean, if you're thinking about numbers, I mean, you're looking at sales 2 million max, at best. I mean, we know the obviously the associated costs with game development are fucking skyrocketing. So why would you waste your time and energy?
No idea.
But I mean, let's be fair. It's not just Halo Wars 2 that have gone and done a piss poor job. I mean, we've seen some fucking horrendous HD remakes,
which
remaster
really aren't. I mean,
let's just be fair. It's just a port.
Yeah,
and a shit one at that.
A bollocks port. I mean, specifically right now we're thinking about Prototype. I mean,
1 and 2.
Yeah, that was fucking awful. So if you want this game experience, you want to enjoy it in its best, super running, best frame rate, all that sort of stuff. We've just released it. don't buy it. Go back to your original version. It runs better than the pig we just released.
Maybe if you've got a half decent PC, look at seeing if you can pick it up on Steam or somewhere.
Yeah.
Again, sticking with Activision, fucking Deadpool.
Oh,
I mean, it was a janky game when it was released, and you would have thought that, especially off the back of the notoriety and the charm that Ryan Reynolds brought to the Deadpool character in the movie, you'd think that they'd be like, right, we have to get this right and fix this.
No.
Because it was a fucking mess.
No, they don't.
But again, like you say, it's money for old rope, it's Activision, fuck it.
It generally was, and I don't say this often, there was once a Sonic game that I used to attract this, but now I would say, without a doubt, Deadpool is my worst game experience ever.
Yeah.
It was that broken. I mean, just dreadful. And obviously I bought it long after it was released on the the re-release on the Xbox One. So it should have been patched the shit out of by now.
Fucking cracks me up the price of it still.
Yeah,
like it's when you sit in a sale and it's like £18. Now £18? How is it now £18? It should have only been fucking £18 in the first place.
It should now be, we are paying you to play it, please.
Please, yeah. Here, we will give you some Xbox credit.
There are some people who get this right, though, isn't there? I mean, this isn't all about just falling flat on your face every time you want to revisit a beloved IP. We touched on a couple earlier on. We were thinking the likes of Metal Gear Rising. This is where so this isn't sort of so much a re-release, but more of a slant or an offshoot,
a spin-off, isn't it?
Yeah. And this was Platinum getting it done.
Well, it started off at Konami, and then it got nowhere really, and they kind of brought Platinum in as guns for hire and said, "Can you please make a game from this?"
We know you've got a solid physics engine.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Well, obviously, this is just the advent of the Fox engine, so it's like with most things in terms of proprietary software. That's where you think, it's only going to take sort of this amount of months, and then it doubles and sometimes triples.
The one thing Platinum are always notorious for, though, is understanding that when you hit the punch button, don't have lag on the punch, make the impact solid, make the combos great, make it quick moving, make it dynamic. They're just really good at that. So that was quite a pleasant little touch. But also Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry, yeah, Ninja Theory. I mean, it got a very polarising crowd. A lot of people really didn't like the redesign of Dante.
All the hardcore DMC fans, yeah.
But it's one of those that, I mean, we were saying, wasn't it? You've got to differentiate. You've got to sort of put your own stamp and mark on it. And, I mean, if you look at it from a purely gameplay and how it runs, it's solid game. They've done really, really well. I mean, there's that great scene in there where you're running through, I think, a fairground. You end up going into a costume shop, and when you come out, you look like the old Dante. Obviously, you end up shaking it all off or whatever. And it's like, I thought little things like that was quite funny. Right?
I just think I like the fact that a company is allowed to put their take on it. It doesn't mean they've changed the game forever and that's it. That's now canon, and you have to stick with it. But I just really liked it.
I mean, Capcom did really well with the Zelda, the Oracle of Ages and Seasons. I mean, they're brilliant Zelda titles in their own right.
But we don't always have to completely redesign a game to re-release it. Recently, they've just announced that there's some classic Neo Geo games are being released on the Xbox. You've got some
like Samurai Showdown and stuff like that.
World Heroes, which is where you've got like Rasputin and all that. Those like amazing characters, and all they're doing is just re-releasing it. Like they did with like Final Fight and all that, Streets of Rage. People don't always need it rebranded.
Look at the Virtual Console. I mean, I bought loads of games on it originally on the Wii. Because there's some awesome classic titles out there that, again, it's fine as long as it plays okay and I can save it.
Well, when we played these games back in the day on these 8-bit consoles or whatever it was, 16-bit, what made them great was you solidly understood the control system. So long as you don't fuck with the what I call like the physics engines or all, as long as you don't mess around with the actual how the game plays, then you can make it look prettier. You can do stuff with it, and specifically, I'm talking about recently. There's an announcement of Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap being released.
Yeah, well, it's not far away, is it? Because obviously they announced it last year, didn't they? Early last year. And I mean, from day one I've seen it. It looks absolutely awesome. It looks adorable.
Yeah, the
really
actual,
great art style.
The HD version is just beautiful. Really, like you say, art style done really well. Really pours out the essence of the amazing character which was imbued in these basic 8-bit graphics back in the day. But just like, you know, your Monkey Islands and such, like, you hit one button and you're back to the original 8-bit graphics.
Yeah.
And
it's little things like that,
great,
though, isn't it?
Love that.
It's someone that's taken an IP that they really loved. They've poured some real care and attention into making it a great game for a modern audience. But then they've also obviously kept, like, they've tipped the hat and to sort of prove this is where it's come from. I mean, the fact that they've even gone to the level that you can put in your old passwords. So you'll be able to go online today, find in passwords for the levels, and you can put that in, and it will still carry on from where it should
Your
do.
password from 1989.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's little things like that you think that they've actually taken something that they really enjoyed, and they've put, like I was saying, a massive amount of effort into bringing it forward, but also at the same time still keeping that nostalgia for people that played it originally. And I mean, you can go back to the 8-bit graphics and all the 8-bit music, or you can obviously play it in the modern sort of really prettier setting, but it's still just taking a really solid game and doing something really cool and just not ruining it, but keeping true to the actual game itself, but like you say, just putting a bit of a sparkly outlook on it.
Yeah, very, very cool. I'm actually super excited about Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. I'm actually waiting to get it.
Yeah, no, I think it's these kind of games, though. I think this will be sort of perfect for the Switch. Because they're the sort of games you can play a couple of levels. Right, I'm done on that. I'll put it down. I'll play something else.
Good news, though. We'll never see Halo Wars 2 on the Switch.
Yes, that is good news.
Great news.
Well,
right.
The way I think the sales are going, I don't think we'll see Halo Wars ever again now after that.
Oh, please. Uncharted territory?
Yes, we should mosey on over.
Let's. Uncharted territory, so much mellower than where we've been in the beef. Uncharted territory, it's our neandering section, isn't it? It's our fumbling around where we just like to talk about stuff.
Basically, we can get away with talking any old shit and it doesn't matter.
Watch me now. So this week I went in and finalised my pre-order for the Switch.
Oh, what, you laid down the spondoolies?
And ouch, what a chunk of spondoolies it was. I mean, put aside the fact that I've had to buy a memory card.
Yeah.
Which I went for the 200 gig.
No, I was going to say, you did see the message I sent the other day. I thought, yeah, it might be of interest.
Yeah.
A little less, a bit less expensive than the Sony TVs one.
Well, yes. Thanks ever so much for spending my money for me. 200 gig ultra micro SD.
You got the UMC ones, yeah.
Yeah, so amazing they can get basic 200 gig on your finger now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to think that 10 years ago you'd struggle to get 200 gig on a 3.5-inch hard drive.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh yeah, that little thing that's going to fall down the back of the sofa when you take it out of your Switch. Yeah, that's 200 gig.
Yeah, exactly that. So that in itself was £55.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking it. I expected it to be a lot more, but yeah, so that was that. But then obviously we've got the list of just Nintendo's fucking ridiculous prices on this shit. I mean, let's have a little look. We're talking at, 280 quid for the console if you're not lucky enough to get it from GameSeek at 200, who are still going, just got to check what stock we're getting. Yeah. So 280 quid for your console. And then, so I said, right, I'm not going to go get a load of Joy-Cons because, frankly, they're like £70 for a set or £40 or £42 for each individual one, which is just turns you cold. I mean, such a small little bit of equipment for like the price of a game. No.
It does somewhat pinch, but then I mean, my only thing with that is again, it's a crap excuse, but you got all this HD rumble bollocks and gumph that that manufacturers of these things like to say, oh, we've got this and this is why it's an extra £20 more than the last ones.
I understand that they've got to recoup investment for R&D, right? But they had the same fucking R&D costs last time when they released the last thing, so it doesn't warrant the price going up.
No.
So yeah, absolutely fucking ridiculous. The only thing that I think Nintendo have dropped the ball on, because let's be honest, the reason why Nintendo's pricing is always so fucking ridiculous is because unlike Sony or Microsoft, they go, no, I'm making money on this initial release. I don't give a shit if you're going to buy other stuff from us. We want this release to make us money, which is fair enough. I do get that. But I think they dropped the ball a little bit on one of them because some guru in the marketing department at Nintendo went, we'll call these Nintendo straps. The little lanyard which fits onto your hand, around your wrist, and then attaches to the top of the Joy-Con to actually make the shoulder buttons usable. Yeah. £5 each. So
for something that, again, you'd think that should have a couple packed in with it.
Yeah, probably should, but lo and behold, Nintendo didn't manage to say £15 each, which is what I would expect them to do. So that was about the only thing which was reasonably priced. Pro controller. So if you buy a controller from Microsoft or Sony, you're looking at what, circa £50?
Yeah, 45, maybe £50.
Yeah, if you want a pro controller for the Nintendo Switch, you're looking at £65.
Wow. That one is excessive for me. The fact is, the Xbox controller, the fact that that's £50 makes me laugh. It's ridiculous. It's like, ooh, we've got rumbles in the triggers now. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't feel any different. It's like, oh, now there's 2 points of rumbly bits in my hands as opposed to one.
Yeah, on the thing that I'm really not sitting there staring at, trying to absorb the rumble experience because I'm too busy staring at the game thinking, oh fuck, I'm getting shot. Yeah.
I mean, the only one that really for me that you can sort of see warrants the price is the DualShock 4, because that's just because of the little touchpad. Yeah, and that's the only thing really on it you think, yeah, that makes sense to me. But £65 for what is essentially a controller. Yeah, with no special. Has it got the HD rumble in it? Fucking better, do.
It fucking needs to have it, and if it hasn't, I'm probably gonna get really shitty about it. I should have checked that. Yeah. New downgraded hardware.
Yeah, well, now they just allows them to release it again in a few months for £85.
Now with the thing we forgot to add. Yeah. Amazing.
I think we're straying back into a beefing, aren't we? No, but anyway, moving on from the ridiculous price of the Pro Controller, what else have we hit up?
Well, I also had to order, obviously, the one game I really give a shit about, which is Breath of the Wild, obviously. I wanted the one with the Master Sword figurine. It's Zelda, I had to have it.
Of course you have to.
£90.
But that again, you sort of look and you think, with the little master statue thing, that's only worth about £7-8, but would have been charged £25-30 anyway. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and then I get the soundtrack in there, which I'm literally just never even going to take the CD out of the case. Yeah. So all in all, that came to about £445.
Just to rip it once, because I was reading something about disc rot. Like you think, yeah, all right, that's fine. It will last a century. No, it won't. Like there's people with like Radiant Silvergun Dreamcast games, which this is probably a good £500 game now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, never opened. Oh, I'll just take that out. Oh, I'll have a look at that disc and what are these telltale little white spots? Oh, that's right, that's disc rot. So all of these people that were giving Nintendo shit for the 64, what's that? Oh, I'll just plug that in. Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, it's not working properly. Let me just give it a blow.
Which is in fact the worst thing you can do for it.
Yeah, but spit all over it.
It still made me feel better and it seemed to work.
Yeah. So, £445.
Ooh.
That seems a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... If you used to say, I've bought a PlayStation or an Xbox brand new, and you used to say, how much? And you used to say £440.
You'd still go, ouch, baby. You'd be like, well, it's a big, beefy home console,
you'd think that's about right, because with an extra controller and a game or a couple of games, that sounds about fair. But a Nintendo console, it just seems strange.
Well, with one game.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, £445 to play the new Zelda in its best light. I mean, because I could have bought it for the Wii U.
Yeah. Not on Amazon though, because apparently they've removed the listing.
Right, okay. Any particular reason?
I didn't actually. I just saw the headline. I was like, I don't doubt it.
Great work, Amazon.
It's like, no. You don't want this £40 version. You want the £440 version.
Get it now. But yeah, it's just one gaming experience. I mean, is there anything else out there that I should be playing?
I was going to say, it's a good little segue to move on to the launch titles. Obviously, these will all be available 3rd of March. According to my information, so there has been some changes over the last week, so it doesn't reflect some of those. So there may be some errors. No, let me restate it. There will be some errors.
Yeah. So I like that when we say, you know, that some point or another, everybody who's been going, yeah, it's easy to port games onto that. No problem with hitting the release date. Yeah, no problem. And then, you know, the likes of Binding of Isaac and other, just like, actually, no, there is a problem.
But I think it might be a case of maybe the publishers like, well, no, if we sort of just release every have a couple of weeks, then each one will have a bit more buzz and a bit more space to breathe.
Okay.
But anyway, so we'll start with a big one. Obviously, Breath of the Wild. Obviously, it's pretty much the only launch title we're definitely having.
Obligatory purchase.
You've got the should have been a pack-in title 1-2 Switch.
Yep.
Super Bomberman R.
Well, sorry. Just on 1-2 Switch very quickly. So, I've been searching for games that I would like to. For me, when I buy a new console, I want 2 or 3 games right on day one, sat on the shelf, so that I can hammer one game that I really need to play, and then have some refreshing experiences just to sort of step away and come back to. So I've been looking for that other game. 1-2 Switch is effectively the
1-2 Switch is a game. Well, I figured out what 1-2 Switch is. It's basically the game you get out when you've had a few people over, a few beddies have gone around, everyone's a bit inebriated. Right, let's pull out some 1-2 Switch. That is the perfect time for it, because everyone's got that point where they're like, yeah, I don't mind looking at a cock, I'm pissed. Yeah,
or I also think the 1-2 Switch is one of those games which is when somebody goes, oh right, so that's a new console, is it? Yeah. What can it do? Well, here's some experiences.
Game.
Yeah, exactly. Here's some experiences. But there's one thing which has really just made me go, I'm absolutely not going to buy that game. I get the whole thing.
It's not 20 quid.
No. Well, yes, that as well. But no, I get the whole thing about, you know, put your Switch down on the side, don't look at the screen, wait for the noise for someone to say draw, and then you shoot and see who rumbles to die, who dies first, effectively. So I get that. And then literally not literally, but pretty much every other game variation that they've done since then seems to be somebody wanking someone off. It's just, and then there's another one.
Masturbatory gestures.
Yeah, so just kind of gesticulating everywhere, like milking a cow.
Milking a prostate. I mean a cow.
Yeah. And I saw another one where somebody was doing some sort of wanking material sort of gesture again, but this time they were also using the infrared sensor on the bottom to
cup the balls.
Yeah, to cup the balls whilst working the shaft. And I was just like, oh man, I'm not fucking paying money to sit in my living room.
Hey grandma, do you want to come and play a game?
Wow, she's really working the shaft.
These years of experience are paying off.
Great work, man. So yeah, no, that just wasn't going to go anywhere. But sorry, you were saying Super Bomberman.
Super Bomberman R, which also recently got a price drop. I think they dropped £10 off of that.
Good work.
It wasn't going to be worth the money. £60 for Zelda's expensive, but it's worth paying the £60 for, because you know there's going to be hundreds of hours in there if you want it.
What did Edge give it?
Perfect score.
From Edge, who are like the most technically abrasive magazine.
I'm trying to think of some other games that got a perfect score.
It would have been like a Mario World.
You're probably talking maybe a dozen.
Yeah.
If I can use my brain properly, which is, you know, somewhat questionable. But anyway, back to the list. We have Skylanders Imaginators.
Fuck off.
Just Dance 2017 or 18.
No, fuck off.
But at least though, with the Joy-Cons, it might actually work.
No.
We've got
real men don't dance. They stand on the edge of a dance floor, sweat and curse. They don't dance.
And mocking those that can do it well.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we're moving on to Square Enix's sort of nod to classic RPGs. I Am Setsuna, that's releasing day one as well. Little Inferno, which I know absolutely nothing about. I'm assuming it's to do with fire or firemen.
Little Inferno has been out for quite a while now. It's just we've shoehorned it onto this console.
It does port really easy. Quick, let's do it. We've got Human Resource Machine, but I think that's potentially a US release only at the moment.
Good. I look
so
forward
it'll probably
to
be March.
Good. Look forward to not buying it, or saying that though, region free.
Yeah, importing it back to the import days.
Yay,
Woo!
that's expensive.
Shovel Knight,
which surprisingly is not shovelware. It's actually a really good game.
Solid game, and that I think has, I don't know if that's releasing with the new DLC and the new expansion.
Yeah, only problem being because this is what yacht software is it?
Yacht house, yacht boats.
Yeah, something like that. But I bought it on the 3DS.
Yeah,
I bought it on the Wii U.
How many more times can you buy it?
Yeah, I'm not buying. I've got it on the Xbox One. I'm not buying this game again.
No.
The only thing also is I'd say Nintendo, come on, play fair. It's not like you're doing a HD version of this.
Cross-buy that fucking shit.
Just play nice with me now. I've got a Nintendo account. I was straight in there day one when you announced it. You've just announced last week that you're linking all this shit together. Give me my fucking game, please.
Yeah.
What else we got?
We have Fast RMX, which is a sort of F-Zero-y-esque racing game.
I thought he was going to say some sort of quad bike scrambler. Spend all your time.
I think
in the
that's
air
next
game.
month.
Good.
But the surprise one, I think this has actually been upgraded to a launch title, and that is Snipper Clips.
So this game, when I first saw it, I was just like, oh, it's just some
cutesy
fillerware
game.
Yeah. But we were watching a little bit of it earlier on, where effectively at the announce or the January 13th Treehouse of Switch, they were doing a lot of playthroughs with the journalists, and you had a representative from Nintendo, a rather stunning silver fox of a woman, who's trying to take this journalist through it, and she was saying it's all about communication. We need to be able to work together. And he was just bollocks, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was really shit.
Yeah, but it did look really interesting though. I think it's one of those games that you're like, oh, it looks like a wank, it'll be really boring, and then you play it and you're like, oh man, this is actually fucking unbelievably good.
It's two sort of half circle / square shapes which they can layer over the top of each other, and then you can cut whatever shadow you've cast on the other character, you can cut that shape out of your character's physical build, and then use those different shapes to then do stuff such as make them super thin to fit into a gap to press a button, or maybe make a hook to jump up and pull something down. It just looks cool, man.
It's definitely one that it's hard to describe. I mean, when I said to you about it, and I was like, just go watch a video. It'd be so much better that way. But yeah, just go check it out.
If you've got any friends out, so we'll have them as gamers. You've got the people out there that when you want to do something, you're like, right, I'm going to play through on Insane and go to level 50.
Yeah.
I need my entourage, your hardcore gaming buddies who smash shit out. They're the kind of people you play this with. The people you don't play this with are your friends who are just fucking liabilities. You go on GTA, you're trying to do a mission, they're the ones who are always dying and you're having to pick them up. Usually me, I think that is actually.
To be fair though, that's just generally your attitude to let's like, yeah, don't worry, I'll go and get him.
Yeah, I've got
just strewn down a gun down in a hail of gunfire.
I've strapped a grenade to my forehead, I'm going to nut them to death. Yeah. So, but generally don't play this game with those people, because we watched the Nintendo representative Fox try to do this with the journalists and effectively just absolutely choke.
This game does make me think how much damage would one do if someone was to thwap somebody with the Switch.
Well, apparently, according to the retailer I went to get it from, other retailers are available, but Game, if you want the best rip-off price, advised me that it breaks really easily. You should get some insurance on it.
Yeah.
By the way, I've got a 1-year consumer warranty on it anyway, so you're not giving me 2 years, you bastards. You're only giving me 1. But anyway, moving back to the topic, because this isn't the beef. I'm actually quite interested in Snipper Clips. I think this could get purchased.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that if you used to see it for a really good price, it's a definite purchase.
Which you won't.
I mean, I wouldn't personally speaking, spend any more than 30 quid on it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's one of those. If it pops up in a sale, I think it's a definite purchase. But beyond that, I don't know if it's got the legs to carry it.
No, it definitely won't have. But I look forward to spending £45 on it.
So anyway, moving on to the rest of March, we have Has Been Heroes, which I know nothing about. So I'm looking forward to being surprised about how dull and tedious that is. Snake Pass, which sounds interesting. This is the new one from Sumo.
Right.
It's sort of like I think it's a sort of a 3D puzzle game where you're a snake and you've got to get around the various levels and
eat things and grow longer.
I don't necessarily. It's that. I'm not too sure. It's another one that I haven't really.
Thank you, Natia. We're going to rinse this for years. Yeah.
But April, we see Mario Kart Deluxe. Obviously, that's on the 28th.
Yeah, so 2-month delay from the release date for Mario Kart, which is probably, I hate to say it out loud, and for me, release date is the day it releases, not a window, 2 weeks at tops. But I hate to say it's probably a smart idea, because in 2 months' time, once I've rinse the shit out of Zelda.
I think Nintendo need to have a big hitter every month at some point. But yeah, moving into the rest of spring, obviously these have got no solid dates yet. We've got ARMS.
That should have been a release title.
Yeah, because if they want to sell Joy-Cons, it's the only fucking thing they're going to sell them with.
I'm getting me.
You've got Lego City Undercover. I think that's early March. I think that's April the 8th. Sorry, not March.
Look, I know
April
that game was really successful when it came out, right? But that game's like, what, 4 or 5 years old now?
Something like that, yeah. But it's got co-op now. Anyway,
just stop
on.
It, Link. Just stop it.
We have Disgaea 5 Complete.
Right,
which is again another Japanese RPG stroke game that we know nothing about over here because imported.
Yeah, I mean there's been lots of them. It's quite popular.
Well, I was going to say there's been at least 4 others.
yes, very good. But I mean it's quite popular in the same way that I can never pronounce it. What's the something really amazing RPG? Oh god, on 3DS. We might have touched on it earlier on. Shin
Tensei Megumi or something.
Yes, thank you. I'm always shit with my Japanese names.
Don't worry, I've just butchered it and completely got it wrong.
But of a similar ilk to that.
Yeah. We have Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Right.
That's due sometime in spring. Rhyme, which I'm looking forward to. Sonic Mania. US has definitely been confirmed for spring. EU, it's still 2017, so I'm assuming it's localizations issues.
Import.
Again. Redout, which is another one I don't know anything about.
No, I've not heard of that.
It's just a name on a list. Tumbleseed.
Been out, they're just porting it.
Yeah. Splatoon 2 in the summer.
We'll see if they actually hit that,
Autumn has Skyrim, but again, there's been no solid confirmation from Bethesda about that.
That'll end up being Christmas.
September is NBA 2K18.
Just no. I mean, like, you're just going to wait for NBA, are you? You're just not going to...
Well, obviously, that would be that year's.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it's just like... most people are just happy playing 17 right now, and they won't be able to play 17 on the Switch, so you're just not going to wait for it.
No. So, obviously, then Holiday apparently holds Super Mario Odyssey.
Now, where the fuck is this for the launch window?
Yeah.
Are we still in the beef? Because I feel like I'm still in the beef here.
I think a Holiday release title, that's as good as it gets, really. The only other better one would have been a Zelda, but they've kind of already released it.
They've already spaffed that mode.
And also Fire Emblem Warriors. So hopefully with the release of Heroes on the mobile sphere, that should drum up a bit of extra support and encouragement for people to go into a proper full-on blooded Fire Emblem game, because they are fucking solid games, really good games.
I feel like we're missing a load of titles from those.
Yeah, well, we have the rest of 2017. These have just got 2017 dates, no
commitment to ever hitting it.
No. So we have at the top Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers.
Do you know what, that game's quite interesting, isn't it? Because they've basically said, we recognise you love the old 2D Street Fighter. We've put in some characters that are sort of fan favourites, like Evil Ryu and Akuma and such like. We've also put in an ability for you to sort of do first person fighting in it, which fuck knows how that's going to work. But yeah, all in all, I'm actually
intrigued.
Intrigued is the word, yeah.
So I think that would be one you're looking for a date for that.
Yeah,
but I think again, if it's not out by E3, then we'll know. We'll know what's coming up the rest of till Christmas. But anyway, following on from that, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I'll be really surprised if that hits this year, because I think it was only last year or maybe the year before that you had Xenoblade Chronicles.
Right.
And that's a fucking huge game. So whoever's got the localization job for that has got their work cut the fuck out.
Yeah.
Speaking of work cut the fuck out, Rayman Legends Definitive Edition.
Oh god, look, literally, you're not even doing anything at this point. You're just saying all the DLC, which usually takes a code to require it to be attached to your account, now doesn't need a code.
Yeah.
Release.
Yeah.
Money for old rope.
But at least it's a solid game, though. I mean, they are really good games.
Yeah, they are brilliant, to be fair.
Project Sonic as well, the new Sonic, not obviously Sonic Mania being the
new Sonic.
The new old school Sonic.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what Mania is. Or Project Sonic, sorry. I don't know what that is. It might be some guff like Boom or whatever the last 3 that they've released is.
I'm going to say it out loud. Sonic is bollocks. Just stop it now. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Minecraft, which is a big hitter. If they haven't got the normal console version that the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 has, it's dead in the water.
Yeah, don't make it the Pocket Edition, please.
God no.
But I'm knocking the Pocket Edition, but it's like, this is a console. Put a console version of it.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, this isn't exactly a complex, taxing game on the.
Shouldn't
on the
no, God no.
Devices.
If you can run it on a phone.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, a stripped down version, but still.
I just love the way that Microsoft are like, yeah, we'll make some money in somebody else's consoles as well.
Yeah, fucking right. Minecraft, that'd be a big one. FIFA 18, and apparently we've been told that it is a proper full-on, full-blooded FIFA, not some crappy mobile port.
Cool.
Steep, which again, is a good bit of diversity on there.
Yeah, nice and steep pricing as well, usually. Yeah.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Okay, for those who are fans, which I'm not, but those who are, I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
And then we've got Siberia 3. I have never even heard of the previous 2, let alone the third one. So,
great work, guys.
Good work on the research.
Nice marketing.
Then we've got Hollow Knight, which I saw something about this a few weeks ago. This is a really sort of interesting Metroidvania sort of themed kind of game. Looks really, really cool. It's got wonderful sort of hand-drawn art style.
All about that.
And then Oceanhorn, because they weren't finished. They've released on everything else up until this point, so why not?
Hey, you liked it on your iPad, why don't you play it on a console? Hey, you liked it on that console, let's put it on that one as well. Hey, there's a new console coming out.
Yeah, so that pretty much fills out the rest of 2017 of what has been confirmed so far. Obviously, there's still more to be released, and Nintendo, they've got the Indies presentation next week or this week coming up, showing off some stuff. They've been spouting, obviously, to whoever will listen, that they've got more third-party announcements coming up at some point. So I think over the next month, we'll start to see a few more games to be released, dates finalised. And then, obviously, in a couple of months, we've got the big one, obviously, in Los Angeles with E3, which we should see an absolute dirge of info. And most of it will just be bilge.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the games for this year. Anything there?
So for me, I'm all about Mario Kart. I traded in my copy of Mario Kart 8 just to have an
excuse to go and buy it again.
Yeah, I mean, I usually don't like the whole sort of I'm going to buy this again on another console thing. I did it with Shovel Knight because I believe in supporting yacht games. I think they've made a really solid game, and I like their approach and humour and all that, so I was happy to do that. And I do believe in speaking with your wallet. Mario Kart, for me, I've got all the DLC on the Wii U version, and this is just all the DLC included in it. But I wanted a portable version of this. I want to be able to sit in bed and play Mario Kart. Yeah.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's frustrating to have to resort to that you can't, like you say, there is no cross-buy or some sort of scheme that Nintendo are doing to enable you to get at least money off. But again, it's, you know that your trade-in price is going to be the best it can be possibly be, because, you know, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, and also you want to do it now before the other one releases in 2 months' time, and it's gonna, then all the game shop go, oh shit, that's coming out, drop the price. Yeah. So yeah, no, definitely that. Snipperclip's definitely interested in. Little bit interested in Rhyme.
That's what
Hollow Knight as well.
It's a very intriguing game, Rhyme. I mean, it's kind of been on the radar since like that initial teaser from GDC way back.
Yep.
No, that was the PlayStation bloody announcement, wasn't it? When they actually said, here it's when it's releasing and all of that.
But you know, ARMS, not particularly. That's not going to last very long. And also, but Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, yes, I'm definitely interested in that. But it should be here now. I shouldn't be waiting a year for that game.
Well, it should at least be
now.
Sort of definitely this year.
Well, yeah, but it's just like. This is one of the weaker launches, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely, without doubt.
You know, there's no boxing game because they're trying to keep the price down.
Yeah.
You know, you're not. If you are buying 1-2 Switch, shame on you. Because frankly, you're just trying to get your nan to do an appropriate shit in front of you.
Your grand's still not going to buy a Switch, no matter how many times you show her how she can wank off a cow.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, what about sort of, you know, our hopes and aspirations for this? I mean, where are you with it?
I mean, I'm pretty much on the same fence that I've always been with Nintendo, and having realised, like, over the last 5-10 years that this is where Nintendo is going to be at in terms of their power and hardware. And you don't go to a Nintendo console for it being bleeding edge, you go for it for being bleeding amazing games.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as the software's there for me. The hardware side of it, I just hope that they actually get some developers to utilise like this HD Rumble stuff and the Joy-Cons properly, because how many games, especially on the Wii when it first came out, that it was just some tacked on motion control shit. Half the time you're better off just playing with a normal controller. And the games that didn't have a normal controller option, all you're there thinking is, just let me play with a normal controller,
please.
Buttons.
Like Splatoon, it's just like, please just let me play like a first-person shooter.
So yeah, I'm just really intrigued to see some sort of interesting new scenarios and sort of gameplay situations.
For me, I want this console to run well.
Yeah.
I you know, it's a double-edged sword, right? It's being restricted to the Wii U graphical sort of limitations in the sense that, yeah, it will run things better, but because we want to release the games on both consoles so we don't lose sales, we're not going to do a powerhouse console. But it is new hardware, it is up to date, it should, up to date, there's some air quotes there for those who can't see. So it should be able to run a lot better. I've seen some stuff about the GUI being very simplified, very, very basic. If that's what they've got to do to make this thing run quickly, then please do it, because Nintendo consoles are just awful. Like downloads which take decades, and you know, you go to a screen to load something else to get to the dashboard that you want, to then load a virtual console to get to that dashboard, then to select the disc channel, then to load the game. It's like, fucking sort it out. Sort it out.
I think sort of, because we're talking, it was only from GameCube really, wasn't it, where user interface actually had come to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the best user interface they've ever designed. That GameCube one was brilliant. I love the whole up, down, left, right. That's it. That's your options.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. Put the game in, up it goes.
The DS works well.
Yeah.
There's all your panels in front of you. Press it. Do you want to close the thing that you've still got open?
Yeah.
Yes. Load.
Yeah.
Done. You know. So I want this thing to run better, and then equally, what I don't want is some wacky experiences. Yeah. Just like you were saying about the control methods. Let me play games the way I want to play games.
Yeah.
I am a hardcore gamer. You spent the last 2 consoles trying to basically suck the dick of family shovelware, and I want some fucking hardcore Nintendo. I want my Zeldas, I want my Marios, I want my Metroids, I want them hardcore, proper gaming experiences, fully realised, like Zelda Breath of the Wild. Do that.
Yeah.
Please do that. I'm a little bit niggly over the fact that I feel like this console's forever going to be bound to the Wii U.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be limited in terms of its graphical power. But again, I think it's only really Zelda that's the only thing that you're going to see from the Wii U that will be on the Switch. Other than stuff that they're going to port over because they don't want to make another one, they'll just port the existing one.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So, final thoughts?
Maybe Zelda.
Maybe Zelda,
yeah.
Wow, very, very tempting. For me, my final thought is Zelda!
5 days? 6 days?
I'm off work on Friday just to wax the shit out of that game. You're going to see me here online next week on this podcast just being like, oh my god, it was amazing. So yeah, I stood in game the other day whilst waiting for this guy to fuck up my pre-order, watching the video in the background. It just looks so good. So Zelda. Ugh. Right, okay, I've got that on my system. So there we go, folks. There we go. It's another fully wrapped episode. Link, final thoughts for the podcast.
I need some money for a Zelda.
Yeah. For me, my final thought is Horizon Zero Dawn coming out this week. Got amazing reviews. Can't wait. So from Angry Link, it's
Adios.
And from me, it's peace.